chocolate banana cream pie. The first thing we're gonna do is make the crust. And I'm gonna use 3 ingredients and then 4 if you include salt. Some dates, almonds, and oats. They all have the same ratio, 3/4 cup. And the first thing that I do when I'm making these crusts is I wanna get the dried fruit processed. So what I like to do is measure out my dates or my dried fruit first, 3/4 cup, put that in my food processor, and then I'm just gonna turn it on for a little bit. One thing to be aware of is depending on how moist your dates are, it could take a little bit longer. And what I'm looking for is them starting to break down until an even consistency. One thing you want to be aware of, if you're using dried fruit that's come out of the fridge, you'd want to get it to room temperature. If it's cold, it's going to take a lot longer to get to the consistency that you're looking for. The larger chunks are gone, so I'm going to go ahead and add the other ingredients. And that's just going to be 3/4 cups of oats. I'm using toasted coconut. I really like the flavor toasted coconut and toasted almonds give. And now I'm just gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I have everything in the food processor, so now I'm just gonna process it until it all starts to stick together. Okay, so what I'm noticing as I'm processing this is it's still pretty powdery. It's not sticky. So I would need to add something to this to make it more sticky. So what I'll do is start by adding 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Now already that's changed. As you can see, I can clump it all up now, and it'll actually stay together. So you can see it, how it's a lot clumpier now than it was the first time. And that's good, because it'll be easy to work with and it'll maintain its shape. And what I do is I'm just gonna spread that around first before I start pressing it down, just so it's a lot faster when I do start pressing it down, getting all those little spaces filled up. And then I'll do the same thing with my spatula. Take the rounded edge and start to go across the sides and then in the middle. And you can see that it's just coming together really nice now. It's gonna form a perfect base layer for this dessert. And then there you can see it's in there. Because this is a banana chocolate cream pie, I'm gonna add a layer of banana in on top of the crust before I put the actual chocolate cream on top. It's really, really simple. All I'm gonna do is peel a banana, take a knife, and then I'm just gonna start slicing these about 1/4 inch thick pieces. And I'm gonna do the whole banana. And basically what I'm gonna do with the bananas now is I'm just gonna line the edge with them. But basically I just want a nice layer of banana. Now all we have to do is make the cream, and this is when I'm going to use my Vitamix. And if you have a high-speed blender, that will work. It doesn't really matter which kind you have. I'm using a really ripe banana. I want the starches to have broken down into simple sugars because I'm looking for a sweeter cream. Then I have an avocado here, and avocado works so well in making a chocolate and a frosting. People are always surprised when they taste this, and it's pretty cool that the filling, this chocolate cream filling, is just avocado and banana and a little bit of cacao powder and a tiny bit of sweetener. And you're gonna see how little actually we need. Now, I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of cacao powder. And then I'm only gonna do 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. I wanna make this nice and creamy, so I have some coconut butter, and I'm just gonna do 2 tablespoons, and I just like the way it comes out with the coconut butter. Now I'm going to add also 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and just a little bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon. And last is some vanilla extract. Now everything is in there. I'm just gonna pop it on my base here. As I'm using my tamper, I'm just looking in there and I'm watching to see if all the clumps are getting out. And you'll notice as you start to blend and push it around, you're going to start to get more of a sheen on the top. It's going to become a little bit shinier. And that's going to let me know that I'm done. And then all I have to do now is to finish this is start to add this on top. Now that I have the chocolate in there, I'm just going to push it around with my spatula and cover all the banana before I start smoothing it out. And now that I've pretty much got it all covered, I'm just going to take the corner of my spatula and then kind of turn this in my hand and then just hold the spatula on top. And as long as it's relatively flat on the top, you're good. Because we're gonna add a little bit of garnish, so it doesn't have to be super fancy. Last thing is just adding a little bit of garnish, and this is just nice for presentation, and it's also nice for that extra texture. It's gonna give a little bit of crunch to the recipe, and I'm doing a little under a 1/4 cup. And this is toasted coconut, so it's going to crunch easy. And I'm just going to gently sprinkle it on top. A little bit of toasted almonds. Same thing, I'm just going to crunch these up. This looks great. I covered the top so it would look really nice presentation-wise. I want to make sure to put this in the fridge though so it sets. I want the coconut oil to have time to solidify and then it'll be able to slice. But you can see how easy it is to make the base, the crust, add a layer of banana and then add the cream on top, add some garnish and then you're ready to go.